Well, I guess first let me just apologize to the people for the potential camera quality. I just want to say that I know some people have high expectations when it comes to camera quality, but what I'm more concerned about is just the dialogue being the sound quality for one, because it's a good microphone, but also just the conversation itself. It's not.
Yeah, he got that Audio Technica, man. You know, I'm a little envious right now. I'm gonna give me one though.
And it also was a gift, actually. Shout out to Anthony Tizevera Singhi for giving me this mic a long time ago. But anyway, let's get topical, I guess.
Yeah, that's how we could kick it off.
Because dang, where I put it. Oh, like I was just watching Will Smith actually talk about, because he finally
he finally broke silence on the
yeah. Did you hear?
Okay. I didn't hear that yet. I didn't even know. I wasn't expecting him to, because he's more of a private person,
right? And he was less blatant about it, or seemed less, I don't want to say bitter than Jada, because Jada didn't seem bitter.
Jada was bitter, but rightfully so. But like, she was just straight cut, blunt to the point. She had no holds barred about it.
This is Will Smith. He said a lot, but this is just a quote from what he said on this segment. Mm-hmm. He said, "The nominations reflect the Academy. The Academy reflects the industry. Mm-hmm. The industry reflects America. Mm-hmm. There's a regressive slide towards separatism between racial and religious harmony. That's not the America I want to leave behind."
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on that quote, man? On that just that segment of it.
Can I just say, before I say my answer first, that again, for everybody, I want to let people know how my mind operates now when it comes to things. When I was younger, I'd be way more partial, and I'd have a bias towards black people, and rightly so, or rather understandably so, I should say, because we all tend to have a bias towards almost everything. But lately, of my recent life, I try to be a little bit more quote unquote scientific, in that I'm trying to be dispassionate. And so if it seems like I'm saying some Uncle Tom kind of stuff, just know this: I don't want to be white. Nor am I trying to be black. I'm not trying to be anything. All right, I just want to just put that out there, because what I'm about to say, I don't think it's bad. But I just wanted to preface that. But anyway, what I'm going to say is that he's so right about, I feel, the separate nature, the separatist feeling that's happening in America, and I feel like black people and white people are both participating in it. Now, it's a little bit of this. It's a little bit of white people's fault. Little bit of black people's fault. I'm talking about right now in like 2016. I'm not talking about history-wise, because again, I just made a video on the legacy of slavery, and also I have a quote by this woman. Wait, can I just say this too? And I apologize for that, but like, this woman just proved my point when I talked about how people in this country think that if you bring up how slavery affects the present, that you're just saying an excuse. There's a white woman named Colleen Marie in this post I just read before you came. She commented, "The history of the United States and the American people is not rooted in slavery. Slavery is a part of the history, you self-involved narcissistic idiots. You use slavery as an excuse for how you totally screwed your own society and your spawn." Alright, so and this is basically the conversation I have with a lot of white people. But anyway, that being said, I feel that Will Smith is right, but I have a lot more to say. I feel that he's right. But what you think?
About the separatism and not wanting to leave a country behind like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you approach it from the, like you said, scientific, from the unbiased. You approach it from, perception, and you're approaching it from what's the other term? I can't think of it, but I get how you're approaching it. I approach it from the angle, I still am partial and biased to black people. I don't want to be white, but I love being black, and because I love being black, it doesn't mean that I hate white, I hate Hispanic, I hate Asian, I hate everything else. It's just I love black so much because. And going to the quote that you just read from the woman, I don't feel like slavery is used as an excuse, but it is a part of history. Because when you think about this, we're African on paper, you're African American. Whenever you fill out a document, unless you could choose other if you want to, that's fine. But you choose, you say African American, Black African American, and you have all kind of other little sub titles under it. So we live in America. America is a country that celebrates many holidays, whether you agree with the holiday or not. If that's the case, if basically she's saying disregard that history. It's history, it happened, but disregard it. Don't use it for today. Yeah. Well, and I don't know if she's an American or not, but if that's the case, that means it needs to be done across the board. You have President's Day that celebrate presidents. That's part of history. Yeah. We don't say disregard presidents ever happening. Okay. You have Independence Day, America's independence from Europe. That's history. That we don't have to go through that no more. We're not saying let's forget about July 4th. Let's forget about what that symbolized. We're not saying let's forget about Independence Day. Don't bring up Independence Day to me and what we all did. And then when you go through school, what do you know what happened for Independence Day? You know what happened with the Civil War. You know what happens with you know what happens with the Emancipation Project. You know about all that. You're taught all of that. So if we're to if you want to say forget slavery, it's a part of history. Let's forget history. Period. Let's wipe out history. Period. And as humans, as people, you can't wipe out history. You need history to have something to build on and just keep going. Now I do feel like some people are crippled by the fact that slavery happened. I try, thinking about it, man, just thinking about how people can have been treated like that, less than a dog. Like, animals were more profitable to raise and sell than a slave. Yeah. Just to think about living in a time like that, the reason I can't forget about slavery is because I feel like we're still living in it. It's just an adaptive system. Right. When you think about the trading block, you see men and women. What type of man is going to be sold for the highest price? What type of slave is going to be sold for the highest price? Because slave weren't men or women; they weren't even people. Mm-hmm. What type of slave is going to be sold for the highest price? When you look at the trading block, you got 5 men right here. What are you gonna? The most fit. The most athletically built, the tallest, the strongest one, the one that looks the strongest. Yeah. The ones he can carry the heaviest load, stay out there all day with the smallest amount of water, be energized with the least amount of rest and food, right? When you look at the NFL draft and you look at the NBA draft, the owner is the billionaire. When you look at who I'm a draft, you looking at what out the athlete.
Yeah, who's the best,
the quickest, yeah. Who can shoot the best, who can throw the furthest, who can run, who can catch. You looking at that, and then it's a selection, and that the owner making billions, the athlete making 100 million. That's a lot to the athlete because the typical athlete, if you're looking at football and basketball, is black. So they're looking they're getting paid. They're happy because most of them come from subpar conditions, so they're happy that they're making that amount of money. But I look at that as the same thing. The trade block, the draft, for the combine for these professional sports. As far as what Will Smith said, yes, he said he don't want to live America that's like that. I feel the same, but it may be for different reasons. It may be, because I do want to leave a legacy behind, and I feel like I need to work on that now. This will be a part of that legacy. Right. This will be a cemented part of their legacy. So, I agree with him, but I'm interested to know like what angle are you agreeing with him on? Like what part of that really hits home for you?
Just feeling a divide happening in America. But at the same time, I know it's based totally off of what I see on social media. And that might not necessarily be the reality of it, because I see young people, it looks like the damn United Nations. They're hanging in groups. It's like 2 Hispanic dudes, 2 black dudes, an Asian dude, an Indian dude. It's like, it's such a rainbow of groups of people these days. And so I don't know if that's necessarily, I feel like, to be honest, racism will definitely always exist to me, because due to human nature. Because if everybody was all, and also prejudice is always going to exist. Because even if everybody was one color, we found a reason to discriminate. Because that's human nature to want to be separate.
You fat, your eyes this color, your hair this,
absolutely,
your hair this color. Yeah.
I think we'll always find a reason, and I even see it in the workplace.
Yeah.
But I just agree that I see that a little a divide happening, and in Hollywood, I suppose I don't see black people represented to me well in that. Now, there's something to be said for if these black quote unquote movies, or I'm not gonna say black movies, but these movies that had black talent, if they deserved it. Like, did Will Smith even deserve a nomination? A lot of people, even black people, are criticizing him, saying that his accent was off and he wasn't even that great in the first place. But so there's something to be said for that, because I have not even seen any. I haven't seen any of these movies. I haven't seen barely any movies. Right. So I can't even necessarily be fair in that regard. And I understand somebody who, let's say somebody did see him and felt like they just didn't deserve it. And it's like, what, you just want to be represented just for the sake of being represented? Like, that sucks. But I disagree that with him, that I see that, like, there's no, for instance, when I see black superheroes, it sucks, man. It's like they always got to be, they're always, their ability is always like they have super strength, or like even Will Smith. And I was looking at the trailer for this upcoming movie he's in with the DC superheroes. You know what I'm talking?
Terror Squad.
Terror Squad, whatever. Why? I mean, perhaps it's just me being nitpicky, or it's just seeing this because, I mean, it's just a coincidence. But why he got to be the dude who shoots the guns? I mean, why he got to be the one with the guns? And here's the thing: maybe in that comic world, that dude, the character is actually a black person. But it's rare that I see even a black character that his skill set or ability is something
far superior to anything else, or like a Superman.
Yeah, like, you know, even if or just sort of subtle in like telepathy, or he can make flames come out. Or, I mean, well, I guess you could say black dude played the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four.
But the Fantastic Four was so horrible.
Yeah, it was so horrible. And also the character was originally white.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
It was originally white anyway. It
was horrible. Like,
right. Right. It was, yeah, I haven't seen it.
The first few renditions, and they just need to let that franchise go. But that's another thing.
That's a whole nother story. But I feel like black people aren't cool. I've never seen a black person, to me, other than Idris Elba, who plays a character to me. This is what I don't like. I feel like in these movies with black people, the black person is always so quote-unquote black. And what I mean by that, I suppose, is that they're always some kind of stereotype in some form or fashion. I know a lot of black people in my own life. I grew up in a predominantly black area. I know that there's a lot of black dudes and women that are just just well-rounded people who are just happen to be black. It's like their blackness is not like first. It's their behavior is not informed by their blackness. They might have that black flavor, so to speak, but they're still
a well-rounded.
Yeah, they're still a well-rounded person. I rarely see that.
You could be black and be a well. See, I how you just separated the two. The blackness gonna be there regardless.
Yeah,
when you're born into, that's what you're born into. And so I don't want to separate, because there are well-rounded black people like that, because black people are people too. Like,
I rarely see that.
I hate how it's always you see, because you know why I feel like that always happens, because you see black first. You see black first. When you see black first, you automatically gonna tone it down. You're gonna automatically take a few notches off. I could be the most intelligent. If we could be in a room full of people, you and I, room full of Asians, we could be in a room full of Hispanics, and they all smart. But we know we are the top. We competing with each other to get this 4.0. Trying to get a 4.5. The teacher knows it. But because when you look in this classroom and you see this color wall, but then you see this color couch right here, you're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna go with the wall, to see the wall, because this stands out too much. So you get intimidated by that. So you say, oh, you're smart for a black person.
Yeah.
Oh, you're smart. Oh, you're a very smart young man. But you don't have to do that to the other kids in the classroom. You don't have to pat their head and hold their hand and say you're smart. They know they're smart. They expect you to be smart. But when we stand out, it's, oh man, wow. Like you didn't believe that I was capable of being an intelligent being, an intellectual being. And even though, like I said, I am pro-black, I can still be unbiased. I can still look at things from a different perspective, different angles. I can still play devil's advocate and say, nah, yeah, I am for my people, but I didn't like how that was said. I didn't like how that was done. As far as Hollywood goes, I don't necessarily think it was just based on this year. Because like you said, I didn't watch Concussion movie. I didn't watch. The only movie I saw with the starring role being a black actor was Creed with Michael B. Jordan, the same one that was in Fantastic Four. That was on, and he did great in that movie.
I heard Beast of No Nations though.
Hold on, I'll get to that. Hold on, I'll get to that. So that's the only movie I really saw. I saw Beast of No Nations, but I'm gonna get to that. But I'm saying like they had a starring black person that went to the movie like big stage.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was deserving of an. It was good. That was a great movie, but I don't think that was deserving of an Oscar.
What movie?
That was Creed.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. Now, if he does that again in the next one and it's better, then I say that. What I feel like as a result of this year, man, is just another year, going through another year of black people being attacked and not being recognized. Another year, 2015 was another year of black people being attacked, killed, murdered, and not being recognized for their excellence. And it just hit a fever pitch because it's been going on like this in the 80s. Rappers, it was the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Rappers boycotted the Grammys because they weren't nominated for Album of the Year, and if they was, they always basically lost it.
Yeah.
So. This been going on, man, but I just feel like it hit a fever pitch. Two of my two favorite actors, period, is Will Smith, Denzel Washington, and they interchange. I love Robin Williams. He in my top three. Why? If you were born in the late 80s, early 90s, everything you saw or touched had Robin Williams in. Aladdin voiceover. You got Aladdin. You got Jumanji. You got one of my favorite movies by him for real is Patch. I love Patch.
Yeah.
Man, that movie was amazing. Like, Robin Williams was an amazing actor. But he's not black. But I can sit up here and say he's in my top three actors all time. And I'm not even putting Denzel and Will Smith over him just because they're black. That's just my that's what they are my favorite. But I'm pretty sure you've seen plenty of movies with Denzel and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. But how many Oscars has he won?
I know, only for the one where he played.
Only one.
Yeah, Training Day.
Yeah. When he was that thug. When he was out there promoting the killing. Like you said, why the black superhero has to still be stereotypical in his movies. The black superhero, why he has to still do this. But he can't, like you say, his mind can't, warp people or freeze you in time or you shoot the flame. That you have that's internal.
Right.
Why has to be the physical? Skillful. Yeah. Why has to be this physical thing that I can go pick up a gun and play that.
Right. I'm just strong.
Or you look at Will Smith and what was that? Hancock, the bummy ass superhero. He had to be a bum, the drunk superhero.
The best role probably ever given to a black. I mean, as far as like just being a cool, well-rounded black dude. Hitch. I ain't gonna lie. Hitch is my movie. Hitch was beautiful. That was beautiful movie. That was like that. Where is that? He was clearly black in the movie. Yeah. He didn't like. There was no.
But he was professional.
Yeah,
he was intelligent. He was
just
suave.
It's the cool dude. That was a black cool dude.
So I say all that to say, like you said about Hollywood. Now the actor. I feel like this is true. Idris Elba and Beast of No Nation. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
You need to see that movie, man.
My boy told
that
me.
Was a beautiful. I'm not saying I don't want to be. That movie was beautiful. It was so painful to watch that movie. Yeah. You got my boy Agu in there. That's the main character, the boy that's going through all the stuff. Man, dude, Beast of No Nations. I feel like that's a must watch for everybody. That movie. It's so man, it was beautifully written and everything. I just been in that movie, but he's been great in a lot of movies. But he was he was on top of stuff in that movie, and for him not to get at least a nomination for that, that bothered me. That was the one. The Will Smith, like I said, I haven't seen Concussion, I can't speak on that. But Will Smith, Idris Elba in that movie. he deserved the nomination.
Right.
Man. And then I look at it like this, like we still speaking on Hollywood. I'm gonna just try. These two have nothing to do with one another. Bill Cosby getting his star taken up for allegations. I can't go back and prove to you. First of all, when it gets past 10 years, 15 years, you can't try that. But I can't go back and test this woman's blood to see if he actually drugged her. We're talking about allegations. He got arrested. This is physical. Physical. This is physical. You can touch this. I see that evidence right there.
Yeah.
What evidence do you have? Do you have pictures? Do you have a report that you went to the doctor and got examined? No. But you have Charlie Sheen, who's been in the media, who has been on drugs. You know what Charlie do?
Yeah.
Then he says he's infected people, possibly, and paying them off so they won't talk. And his star's still there.
Yeah.
Getting shined. It's polished this morning. I can't. I can't be with that.
Yeah, that is pretty backwards. But again, when I always see like the both sides. I'm always noticing both sides of the backwardness of it all. Because on one hand, as far as what you mentioned, example of Charlie Sheen still having a star, even after he said that he knowingly had sex with women, despite the fact that HIV, and he didn't inform them of it, right? Yeah, that's just crazy. And like I don't know why that's like criminal. And then you got the alleged charges of Cosby. But what I see is the thing that bothered me about Bill Cosby is I saw this blind on my face. This based mostly off of my Facebook statuses when I see. That's the only way I can peer into people's minds because people aren't that honest with me in person. But man, this blind allegiance based off of blackness though. It's like because and also this allegiance to Cosby due to seeing him as Dr. Huxtable. I saw one dude did a post. He was like, "We with you, Dr. Huxtable." And I was like, man, it's like he ain't Dr. Huxtable. I don't know. Obviously, nobody knows with 100% certainty if he did what he did to all those women. To me, is it probabilistic that he did it to at least one? Sure. And plus, he said he gave Quaaludes. He did give Quaaludes to women, but it was consensual as far as like that was implication.
Yeah, exactly.
But is it possible that he didn't rape any women? Yeah. Is it possible that he raped maybe one?
It's possible he raped all of them.
Right. Possible. But it's just like I see on the white side the hardcore extreme condemnation without a doubt. On the black side, the hardcore extreme defense without a doubt. It's like, damn, man. I think my big pet peeve with this world recently with anything is just a lack of nuance and true examination to see just the facts of the matter and to acknowledge things in a dispassionate way. Because I feel like we can never truly evolve if we are just saying, if we're just so one-sided. Because it's rarely is it a clear-cut case. Like the case of slavery. That's super clear-cut. And it's like, and for any white person or any non-black person, or even black person, for any person to act like slavery is not it didn't have a heavy contribution to what America is today. Right, to what America is today in terms of black people and white people, because it benefited white people even though it was indirectly, and it hurt black people even though it was indirectly to the people who live today who weren't wearing shackles. Exactly. I mean, but to me, it's just so apparent that it's like not even up for debate. It's like, what are we even talking about?
What?
Right, but I do know what people are talking about. It's unfortunate that, because I see this again, it goes to almost every kind of circumstance where somebody's giving somebody a reason. I just did a video on this, where somebody's giving a reason for something. People think when you give reasons as to why a person might be doing something that's quote unquote negative, whether it's a people or a person, they think you're excusing it. So white people think when black person is mentioning slavery, and I admit I've never personally met a black person, and this is an illusion that a lot of y'all feel. I've known nothing but black people throughout growing up. And I've never met a black person that blamed the white man for a damn thing, to be quite honest. But here's the thing. I do see comments about black people, a lot blaming white people for this and that and that and this in the world. And I'm to white people of today, and I do know a girl personally told me that she feels that white people as a whole need to apologize for slavery. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, if I'm a 22-year-old white dude growing up somewhere, I can acknowledge that white. Yeah,
I'm not trying to be like
what I do to you, man?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like my great grandfather, old Percival Haynes the Fourth. You know,
right. Like damn, but I do believe that to me, white guilt that's understandable, because if I went to a third world country, I'd have American guilt. I'd be like, damn, like or if I look at Native Americans, I'm like, damn, I'm benefiting from a certain kind of I'm benefiting from your dismantling and from your oppression. And so it's like, anyway, but that aside, I think that's just my main thing with everything that's happening with race today. It's just, I see what I fear, and also I'm gonna ask you something. Right, I'm gonna ask you something after I say this. What I see with black people, and I wish didn't happen, is that when I see us trying to find empowerment, I see it's a slippery slope. It almost always, from what I've seen, leans into, it's like a fork in the road, and there's no other way to go for a lot of black people. Either they go into ethnocentrism. If anybody doesn't know what ethnocentrism is, it's the belief that your ethnicity or your people is superior to others. And then, because I've seen a lot of black people feel like, this one guy, I never took him off as a friend. He added me accidentally after this guy named Marcus Arsenault rescued another Marcus Arsenault somewhere rescued his sister or something from being kidnapped. And it's this guy, he's a lawyer, and he writes blogs and stuff, but he hates white people basically, and he always talks about these things. He brings up people throughout black history, but it always goes in this place that white people are evil as a whole. And it's like, damn, like, can't you like exalt and raise up people throughout black history and black people without saying with a certainty that another group of people is evil? That, or ethnocentrism, like there, or it goes into just the church. And it's like, I see black intellects either fall into ethnocentrism or being super churchy and being right under pastor and being completely and utterly becoming an appendage to the church. And I've lost a lot of respect for people due to my talks upon religion and stuff. I had massive debates about that. But anyway, but my question to you after saying all that is that, how do you feel then about Stacey Dash's comments that get rid of BET then? How do you feel about BET?